Good morning. My name is Chandan Bagai. I work for PricewaterhouseCoopers as a cybersecurity associate, PwC for short. I've accomplished my Masters of Computer Science from University of New Brunswick, which is based out of Canada. Basically, we are here to talk about how I reached here and what all people have done for me, for helping me out coming here. The journey basically started in the college days, like in my last year. I still remember in 2012 there was some recession going on and it was very hard on the placements. So everybody, including myself, got scared that whether we will be able to get hired or not. So at that moment, I just knowingly or unknowingly, I just decided that I'll be applying abroad for my higher studies if I don't get placed. I still remember that day on September 8, 2012. When a company named Infosys Limited came to our campus and they hired me. I was so happy at that moment that I got my first full-time job and I was about to begin my career as a professional, which every person who enters a college dreams of. I went on training with them, I enjoyed the training, learned a couple of things, but at that point when I was about to finish the training and join them as a full-time employee after my training, a miracle happened. I got an admit from University of New Brunswick along with the scholarship letter that I have got admit in the prestigious course of Masters of Computer Science. Now along with the scholarship letter, they actually gave me a research project to work on. So that was the time when I had to make a decision that whether I wanted to go for the full-time job or I wanted to basically progress in my studies. And at that moment I made a choice that because I'm getting scholarship and an opportunity to work on a research project, I would avail this opportunity. And that was the moment I thought that this is the right place for me, and I landed up in Canada. So talking about the experiences that I had when I landed in Canada, they were a lot different. Honestly speaking, I didn't have any cultural shocks because I was from Chandigarh and it was not that much of a small city that I could have faced that. The main challenge for me was the teaching methodology. The methodology followed there in abroad or in Canada is a lot different than we have here. Like, I have done my bachelor's in technology from India, and the difference that I found was the teachers don't spoon feed the kids or their students that this is done like this is the procedure to do these steps. Their professor actually indulges with students and make them figure out how the things are happening. I still remember when I attended my first class in advanced communication and networking. I just entered the lab and the professor greeted us and he told that today we are actually going to analyze the packets. So he made us visualize what we are sending in the packet and how the things are getting turned up and what's actually getting on the receiver end. On that day itself, I realized, okay, it has been a couple of years for me reading about the packets and this happens like this happens like this, but never visualized it. Now that was a big thing for me because that was the first time when I actually realized that this is how hands-on things are happening. The next shock that I received was the research acumen. The students in their burgeoning phases only, they're actually taught that research is so important, and specifically some portion of their study or the project or something is actually kept for the students to do some research on something they are fond of, not the teacher is telling about them. They need to do something different or they need to figure out something different in the topic they want to excel. So it's not getting marks from this and we are doing industrial training because we are doing industrial training in Java or .NET. It's what you are interested in, what you are capable of doing it. The next thing was the plagiarism. Now the plagiarism was basically not copying assignments from anywhere, like anywhere from the net or from your peer, but actually doing it yourself. The thing that follows there, the norm that follows there is that if you are taking help of anyone or if you are taking help from any other source, you need to mention it. You need to give credibility to them. Let me put it this way, if I'm taking a friend along with me and we are doing an assignment together, I need to mention his name in my assignment that I took help from him or her in this question, in this concept. I am giving credibility to him that he helped me out. It was not my independent work. So this was a big thing for me because in India I never heard about this thing called plagiarism. In the initial phases, I was facing some difficulties, but as the time went along, I became adaptable to it, and now I am fully in agreement with the pleasures, and that it's so important for us, for academic institutions, to ensure that all the things are going in the proper norms. So talking about the other part of my career, it was the research part. I was so enthusiastic about it because I have never done that before, and I still remember when it was the first day on my research. I was actually a graduate researcher at User Events, now Live Ops. I still remember when I met the CEO for the first time, and he actually explained me through via presentation that this is our product and what was my job, why I was hired for the research project, what they actually wanted me to do, what are their customers, what's the vision about the product that they're thinking, how he explained to me the problem, that this is the problem they're facing, and that was the reason of the component they wanted me to actually improvise over it and improve the performance of the whole product. I started jotting down some points and started bringing up my strategy. Okay, this is the thing that I can come up with and improve the performance, or this was the components that I'll take into consideration while I'm working over this. It was a to and fro question answer session, and it was basically for making me familiar with the product, instead of wasting much time and doing the more productive rather than the non-productive part. When I was still in my research, I got an internship out from Siemens Canada. That they, after seeing the product that I was doing research on, they actually hired me do some research on their product as well, and the things started happening in a positive way, and I landed into my first job. I was working with Bulletproof Solutions based out in Fredericton, and I still remember when the interviewer asked me what was the inclination for me to do research in this kind of topic. I just told him, and this was an honest answer, that everybody's hearing the buzzwords like big data or Apache Hadoop and all that stuff, and everybody's just talking about it. And this Apache Zookeeper, on which my research was based on, was basically a sub-project of Apache Hadoop. Everybody was looking into performance secrets, so that how to boost performance of their product by using these open source softwares or open source services, because nobody wanted to pay. He got so thrilled that he immediately told me that I was hired, and I was so happy. And during my experience at Bulletproof Solutions also, it was a great learning experience for me. I was working with information security with them, and I was getting actually the real exposure of how the security is being handled from big picture. Talking about the research, my research was basically improving the performance of product. This Apache Zookeeper is basically a distributed coordination service, and it brings multiple computers together to achieve some kind of consensus. So talking with an example, suppose we have 10 computers and they just have one server, and they all share the same credentials or some key elements information that they need to attain every time they get switched on in the morning. Then this Apache Zookeeper helps them to bring on the atomicity and the consistency between the operations. So it's basically a distributed model yet centralized. So I had to improve the performance of this service, so that if this service is being used in the core of some product, the overall product service also gets improved and enhanced. In 2016, I came down to India, and I still remember on one night I was just checking my emails. There was something written that do you want to publish your thesis as a full-fledged book? I actually got surprised. I kept on reading the mail like a couple of times, and it was just one thing that they really liked the content of my thesis, and it's now ready to be a part of a publishing agency as a full-fledged book. I was amazed. Like, it has been whole life I've been reading a lot about other authors and other authored books, and now I'll be getting my own book published. Like, people who want to read my book. I couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't believe him. And the next day I emailed him that could you please elaborate on some points, like what all the things and what does your company actually do, just to verify, just to double check the information. And he actually sent out the publishing agreement on all that formatting guidelines to me, that this is your book, how the book will look like. And I was really amazed. Like, I never thought when I was writing this thesis or this research project will take me this far. Like, it'll be published as a full-fledged book. I never wrote it like that. So this was the life-changing moment for me. In the next email, he just issued me my ISBN number. Like every person who is in technology, he has an inclination that he wants to get his publication as a research paper with prestigious institutions such as IEEE or AICTE. But getting a whole book published was a big thing. I was really happy about it and proud that my research will be becoming a reading point or reading novel for some people who are actually researching on big data or Zookeeper. Talking about the book now. The book has been written in a very simplified way. I've not tried to complicate all the things because at that moment I didn't knew that this was about to become a full-fledged book. But at that time I just wanted to make the things in a simple way so that it can be well understood by the panel and I can get through. So the book is basically about Apache Zookeeper, which is basically a distributed coordination service that actually tries to bring all the systems in the consensus, which is in consistent state. So it's a sub-project of Apache Hadoop. Like Apache Hadoop is a big umbrella and it has a lot of projects under it, like Apache Zookeeper, Apache Flume, then Hive or HDFS. All these projects are just on a similar scale. In the book I have explained everything by an example because it helps in becoming getting it understood in a better way. Like people can relate it to the real-time scenarios. So it's not that much you need to be a tech savvy to understand this book. This book actually tells you what all components were actually very important in improving the performance of Zookeeper. How the code has been written, how the code has been organized, and what are the critical components that where I can see the performance bottlenecks happening, like the server I/O, like the input/output. That's one of the points when there's a performance bottleneck. Then when we are writing or reading something from a file or to a file, that's where the performance bottleneck happen. The next is a usage of some kind of data structures, like how the communication is happening. There needs to be something that contains that information, some message encapsulated. Now I only need to put one thing in the message if one is required. I don't need to put 10 things if one is required. So this is how, if I'm putting one thing, it's going to take less time, and that's where the performance is boosted. So this book basically talks about the secret areas where I think that performance of Zookeeper can be improvised. This book is beneficial for anyone, like technical audience or non-technical audience. The researchers who are currently working on any of the products of Apache, like open source projects of Apache, like Apache Hadoop or Apache Hive or Apache Flume, because all these products are actually combined together. They are part of a one package. So any company or any organization that's looking forward to do their research in big data or distributed coordination systems or services, the book is basically useful for them. I have written it in an interesting way, so even if you are not that much technical, if you start reading it, you'll get it, because I've written from scratch, like explaining how the things, what Zookeeper is, how it is useful, what are its currently, who is currently using it for what. So like Facebook is using it. Yahoo Message Broker, which is one of the polished subscribe systems from Yahoo. It is beneficial for students as well who actually want to read something new rather than the same old complete reference of Java or .NET or all that stuff. If somebody wants to read something different that is not in currently on the internet, also that we don't have much information on these services, and because how Wikipedia was built, people put in different opinions and different information. That's how Wikipedia was built, right? And similar is the concept for any technology. If I'm talking about Apache Zookeeper, the code is getting pushed on the GitHub repositories. People are posting their experiences on different forums that this is how they use Zookeeper in their product. This is the problems, these are the challenges that they came across, these are solutions for them. So that's how the product gets bigger, right? What I am looking forward to next is, currently I'm a part of a big four, which is PricewaterhouseCoopers, and that is a huge organization. So I'm really happy and thrilled about it. I'm just looking forward to new experiences, new challenges that I'm gonna be facing in this field. and because it's a information security field, so it's going to change every day, and that is the aspect that I love about it, that it's so dynamic that you got to learn everything in like seconds. You need to be on your toes like anything. As far as other things are concerned, I'm looking forward to much more bigger opportunities as well. Like, you might see me on TV soon, or if all things go well, then probably I could go on publishing another book, and you might have to read the second version of my book, which could be available on Amazon. You never know how things can turn up in a good way. Looking forward to share knowledge. That's my motive. That's what my motive is. What I would like to advise my peers or my juniors or anybody watching this interview is this: just don't limit yourself to the books. You need to figure out some different ways. The same steps can be used, but to achieve something different. If something is written in a book, don't follow it blindly. That's what companies are looking forward to. They don't want you to just cram what's Java. They want to know why are you using Java. It's not you're using a specific technology. It's the reasons why you want to use this technology. There should be a full comparison. Okay, this product is this product is this. Why we need, give us reasons. So the question is not how things are happening, it's why they are happening. Like, is it some different way that the same things can happen, but in following a different sets of steps? So don't limit yourself to this 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to change the order 4, 3, 2, 1, and you never know, you might turn up into a new innovation. Thanking the people that have been with me. On the top of the list, it comes my first priority is my family. They are a part of me. Like, they have been with me for so much long time, and they have supported me a lot, both at the professional, financial level and emotional level. And I think emotional level support has helped me a lot in getting up to this level. The next thank I would like to give to my professor, Dr. Kenneth Kent, under whom I actually accomplished my thesis. He was the person who guided me. He was my mentor, who actually gave me the research acumen that this is how things can be done, and I can also grow. Thanks to Bulletproof Solutions, who actually gave me a way in which I could learn a lot. Mr. Adam Mosier and Mrs. Nancy Kirstead, who were actually managing who were the leads for my team. The publishing house, Lambert Publishing House, who actually gave me this opportunity to publish my thesis as a full-fledged book. So I'm really thankful to them. At last, I would like to thank my brother Ojasvi Sharma, who actually gave me that confidence and a wonderful opportunity that now it's the time that I can talk to people and reach out to them and share my experiences. My experiences has helped you even by a single %. I think it is a wonderful thing that has happened to me. And last, I would like to thank everyone, my co-workers, acquaintances, my friends, so everybody that has been around me, because you learn a lot from people by their mistakes. Personally, I love connecting to people and know about them, talking to them. So it'll be great. You can connect to me over LinkedIn, or it'll be great if you can write to me. And I love responding to emails. You never know, we could have a wonderful conversation. And I look forward to hearing from you. And thank you, and have a great day.